We are live. I just want to make sure that, okay, good. We have the audio, everything set up. We actually have a microphone down here, so let me know if the microphone is actually doing anything with the, we'll block that guy out so he doesn't look like he's involved. We actually have a microphone, so let me know if the audio is a little bit better. This is crucial. This is just getting a little bit 1% better. So today is actually something that I've only started to learn after about in the previous 2 years. So obviously you guys know my story. I've been here, doing self-development since, 22. I'm 32. I think I'm 32, turning 33. And essentially, during that time frame, you don't really notice anything. You really don't notice anything at all. You're going to the Tony Robbins events, you're going to see Brian Tracy, and you're reading, you're watching these YouTube videos, you're doing everything you can, and you're like, what the fuck? Why am I not getting richer? Why am I not getting more energetic? Why, I looked at people like myself when I was 22, and I'm like, what does this guy do? This guy's got to be on drugs. He's got to be doing cocaine in the morning or something to have this much energy throughout the day. He's talking about waking up at 5 a.m. and I'm just not at that. And that was my mindset, was that those people are maybe I didn't go, those people are special, but I always looked at those people and I said, you know what, they have something, they have the motivation, they have the drive that I did not have. And essentially what I've noticed is that a lot of people, so we've talked about habits and getting good habits. Okay, that's easy. All right. And obviously let me know if the audio is working. That's kind of a big deal because we have this new microphone. So what's going on, Chris? So what I've noticed is that you have habits both ways. Okay, the habits both ways. In other words, the habit to being good, a good habit, is really challenging, to say the least. Okay, you need to remove something, which could be eating sugar, waking up late, drinking too much, unnecessary relationships, terrible relationships, and then add in something better, which is green juice, salads, waking up earlier, whatever. You have to replace the bad habits with something good. Okay? The opposite is true, is that to get a bad habit, it is really easy to layer bad habits. I have seen it time and time again. When I was 30, I started seeing all my friends. They started getting into relationships, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, really? This is the type of girl? Number one. Number two is, I said, dude, you're settling. You're 100% settling for whoever you're dating right now. And then they got married. And then it's like, you know what? You just kind of accept it. All right? And then what I've noticed is that there's a trend. Once you settle with one thing that's monumental, which is marriage, or monumental, which is your job, you literally start settling for other things. You start settling for your job, for your mindset, for your money, for your relationships, for your happiness. You start settling for everything. And ironically enough is that then becomes a habit, okay? So really what this video is, if you outlast everybody, if you just keep on going, even just like 0.5% better, by 10 years, 15 years, you're going to be so far above everyone. It's not because that 0.5%, it's just because you're not going down like everyone else. So really, over time, everyone's read the book, Slight Edge or Compound Effect, it's all the same thing, is that there is no equilibrium. There is no middle ground. There is no stagnation. Stagnation is going down, okay? Trust me, I know. Because when you say, oh, no, I'm just, by the way, I just hit my step goal. That's incredible. When you say that you know what, I'm just not going to go to the gym, that's actually retreating, okay? That's actually going backwards. That's actually, that's going into the habit of, you know what, this isn't a big deal anymore, okay? But when you keep on going to the gym, it's really challenging, okay? I told my parents, I'll switch gears on this, and then I'll go back to outlasting, and I'll talk about a couple of examples that I know. My parents were asking, okay, who are you dating? At 32, obviously society says, you should be getting married. You should be having kids. You should be buying a place, okay? You shouldn't be a single guy running a business, okay? Well, you know what? I am. I love it. I'm happy. And to be honest, just looking at my face, I know I look a little tired right now. I'm about to do a property tour. However, what I've noticed is that if you keep on the path that you want to keep on, it's easy to keep adding better habits. In other words, if I went down the road of getting married and everything else, I would not be the person I am right now, number one. Number two is, my parents said, what do you want? I said, you know what, that's a good question, but she has to go to the gym. Okay, she has to go to the gym. Why? Because it's really, really hard. And when you stop going to the gym, literally you could say goodbye to the rest of your life. And why? Yes, there's physiology and there's chemicals and you feel better and everything like that, but it's a mindset thing. It is a mindset to wake up and bust your ass and sweat your ass off and push yourself. Even when you're at the gym and you're at gym class, I look around and I see these people and they're like lightly just doing it. They're dangling their arms and everything else. And then there's girls that are just shredding it. And then there's, hi Charles, all right? Yeah, I'm doing amazing. And then there's guys that are just dominating. You know, there was a very interesting stagnation as consequences of the long term. Stagnation could be literally, it could start over a month. It could start over a weekend. And then you just feel bad. You know, I didn't go to the gym for 4 days, you know, while I was down in Florida. And then when I went to Hot Athletic Yoga yesterday, it's like I never even went to the gym. My body easily adapted to laziness, and your mindset easily can adapt to laziness. What's going on? Favorite expert. All right, so I was actually onto something really good, which is when you start outlasting people, that's when the confidence comes. The outlasting comes when you see other people going off. When you know what it is? This is the perfect example. If you see any SEAL training, Navy SEAL training, they ring a bell and then you're done. You can go and you can get your hot shower and then you never deal with that bullshit anytime. But this is what I could tell you right now is that when you start ringing the bell means I quit. And I'm done. I'm done with SEAL training. And the bell is right there. You don't have to ask anyone. You just walk over and you ring the bell and everything is done. Training is done. All the hurts and all the pains and waking up early and not going to sleep and not eating and eating MREs, which is meals ready to eat or meals ready to go. MRE, I think that's what it is. But it's all done. How many times do we ring the bell? How many times do we say, you know what? I could do this tomorrow. Someday I'll. And then I'll bring this in. So I was watching, highly recommend the Danny Meyer, David Goggins. You shouldn't even own a bell. Yeah, exactly. So Danny Meyer did a 60 minutes. Highly recommend. I think his name is Danny Meyer. Mike Myers is the actor. So Danny Meyer owns a very successful restaurateur and whatnot. Highly recommend you watch him on 60 Minutes, which was about a month ago, and then I highly recommend you watch him on the Ask Gary Vee show. And he was better on the Ask Gary Vee show because he could just be raw and authentic instead of edited down and things like that, but highly recommend both of them. You could see his drive, his character, his authenticity, his competition. So Gary asked him a very interesting question, and actually Gary's getting very good at asking questions. I think all the people giving him shit of saying shut up and let your guest talk, also I think Gary respects the guy because he's 60 years old. He owns God knows how many restaurants now, you know, anyway. So Gary says, are you competitive? He says yes. And then Myers continues and he says, okay, there's four types of competitive. Number one is you're a-competitive. In other words, a-competitive means, well, you're just there. You're just that employee that looks at the watch and it's almost 5 o'clock. I get to leave. It's almost the weekend. I get to go on break. Okay, that's the first person. The second person is, I just want to win. I just want to win. Okay, I just want to win at all costs. I just want to win. Okay, those are the people out there that, you know, they're good. They are those would be the Dwayne Wades. They just want to win. Okay, those are the guys that are second in line. Then you have the people that I just want to beat somebody. Okay, but the thing is, when they want to beat somebody and they beat that person, then they're like, oh shit, what do I do? Okay, so number one, you're sort of competing, not really. Number two is you're competing, you just want to win. Three is you're competing against someone else. And then the fourth one, exactly. And then the fourth one is you're competing against yourself. Okay, this last year, I started competing against myself. That's the only way I could say it, is when I'm at the gym, I don't look at anyone else. Until someone starts working harder than me. The girl to my right was doing burpees faster. I don't know if you know what burpees are, but look it up. So she was doing burpees faster than me, and I'm like, fuck this girl. You know, that's the mindset I was thinking, okay? Which is good, because I was competing against myself. Then I saw she was doing it better. So then I started doing it at the exact same pace, which was crazy fast. Yeah, she's not lifting the weights that I am, but you know what? In her own regard, she's kicking ass. Okay, so what did I do? I was first competing against myself. I saw her, then I was competing against her. You can literally swing on the spectrum, okay? There's things, if Elon Musk says, hey, listen, do you want to be a rocket engineer? I would move directly into the A competitive because I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But when you find your passion, you are literally competing against yourself. Those are the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans, exactly. Tim Grover, and obviously he talks about it there, but you know, the closers, the cleaners, and everything else, like that's a good way to phrase it. But if there is no competitive nature inside of you, you have to find that one little thing, that one little spark, and you have to ignite that. And that is the one thing that you keep on the trail. And I'm telling you right now, personal development is it for me. Personal development. I've noticed way too many good things in my life. I'm way more confident. There's more attractive women in my life. There's cooler guys. I'm way more happy. I see my health, my skin, my aliveness, my hair. You know, you just start seeing things, and it's over time. 10 years I've been at this. All right, this isn't like, oh my God, that was easy, because then everyone would do it. And that's why I'm saying outlast everyone. Outlast the competition, outlast yourself. Just keep on going. I promise you, you'll start seeing people just going off the rails. People that you looked up to. All right, that was the biggest thing for me, is that I started seeing people that I looked up to, and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what happened? You know, I wish everyone a happy birthday every single day on Facebook, and they just started gaining weight. They started losing their hair. They started looking unhealthy. They started looking unhappy. They settled for their relationships. They settled for their job. You know, I just have an aversion to three things. I have an aversion to excuses. If you have an excuse, don't even talk to me. I have an aversion to excuses, to being the victim in any way. It's like, okay, Gary says, now what? Okay. Which is complaining, any complaining. I just don't even want to hear it. So excuses, which is easy. Complaining, which sort of blends in with that. And then the third, which I literally just forgot. Oh, settling. I just do not want to settle. I don't want to settle on my health. That's why it's a lifestyle. That's why you could get it all. Obviously, yes, you're going to make sacrifices. I'm not partying in Ibiza right now. I'm not in Vegas doing Molly with, you know, whoever, some DJ. And personally, I don't give a shit. So outlast people. That you could win solely on just that. All right, so I'm gonna hop over to Facebook. I have a property tour that I'm gonna be filming, and I gotta leave in a half an hour to go do that. And yeah, so any questions, let me know. If there's any topics, I pretty much have tomorrow's topic, which I wrote down here, and I pretty much it's titled, "Can you afford to get sick? Can you afford to get sick? Can you? Can you?" And then we'll talk about the two people, the normal and the high performers. All right, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. See you. Leave your comments below. I read all of them. Obviously, YouTube is finally getting smart, and they're actually playing back the comments like Facebook's been doing for years. I'm telling you, YouTube is not 1% better. All right, they just have a better streaming platform, and that's where everyone goes. They're the only player in game. So I'm going to go to facebook.com/Botensten. Going to be making my sales calls, back at it, 21 days. Talk to you guys soon. Leave your comments, subscribe to the video, and let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover.